Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge Short Flights. I'm your host Lance here to talk about Goblin Slayer Season 2, Episode 12. All right, so we are done. We are officially done with Goblin Slayer, it seems like. I don't see anything about Season 3, and I don't see anything about a Core 2. So this is going to be it. I'll talk about my thoughts afterwards, but let's talk about this episode. We open up with the saving of the princess, but we're not done yet because that priest goblin still has a little bit of life still in him, and he uses it to drop one little piece of blood into some kind of thing, and boom, out comes this greater demon hand. This thing was actually kind of cool. I would have liked so much more to come out of this than just a stupid hand that almost built up a giant blast to attack. I would have liked to see this thing create a actual giant demon or something, but of course you can't have a giant demon in Goblin Slayer. So I see where they went, but this was still kind of interesting. The way they defeated this thing had a little bit of anime logic to go with it. That blue ribbon from the last episode that the Archbishop gave our crew finally came to use. For some reason, that was the key to open up some secret door to an elevator. And when the priestess opened up that door, Goblin Slayer was able to just hoist it in there. So Goblin Slayer's got his hook on a string and he threw it at the hand. And then the high elf shoots one of Scaly's swords as an arrow at the hand so that would stop its blast, and somehow that's enough to stop the blast, whatever. And then they hoist it into the elevator shaft, and the priestess uses some of her magic barriers and keeps the hand from breaking through, and then ultimately just gets squished by the elevator. It's it's creative enough, just okay. I this hand had so much more to offer. I wanted to see so much more. I wanted to see an arm start to build. I wanted to see more. I needed to see some giant freaking demon or something, which only gets diminished a little bit more because, well, after okay, let's skip the whole horde scene for a quick second. We get a little meeting between this necromancer and some lord, and they're talking about controlling the goblins with a fury stone, kidnapping the princess, using her as a sacrifice to resurrect the dark god, using him to crossbreed with that thing beyond the stars to create something even bigger. And they're talking about all this amazing stuff, and I want to see that amazing stuff. I mean, they kind of showed us a little bit with the greater hand, but what's that thing beyond the stars? And they didn't crossbreed. They didn't make anything. I want to see that. That seems way more interesting than some goblin slaying right now. So it all doesn't matter anyway because they're all taken out by the Knight of Diamonds, who for a second I thought was a futuristic goblin slayer because they didn't show his face, but I didn't see any scars on his jawbone or anything like that. So interesting enough. Of course, they're not going to show too many faces because they're trying to be easygoing with everything. So that doesn't matter. But let's back up a second. They take the elevator, they escape after defeating the hand, only to be confronted by a whole horde of goblins. And that also gets minimized completely because the Archbishop summons a thunderstorm, takes out most of them, and the townspeople come and they take out the rest, and everything is happy go lucky. And that's how this anime ends: is they all go back home, and Goblin Slayer is reminiscing about everything that's been going on the past couple months with the little red haired boy, the wedding, and just a couple other missions. And it's just okay. So that's how this anime ends. And I, for one, am glad it's over because this anime was so mid. Season one was so much better than season two. Season two kind of like sold itself out, took on a bunch of tropes. It was just mid. And if season three comes out, I'm not going to be jumping on it. But at least I can say I watched it, got through it. And for those of you who watched it too and watched me, thank you for doing that. But we all made it through it. And if you guys thought any better, leave me a comment. I'd like to know what you guys thought. If you have any better thoughts or anything like that, try to win me back over because I'm just eh. But yeah. Again, thanks for watching. And please go watch some of our other content because we have a lot of it. Just search Anime Lounge Short Flights, and also watch our podcast because we got a lot of episodes there. And we'll see you guys around.